So the film Black Swan, I believe, is a perfect example of someone's Black Moon Lilith unraveling. In this case, a Cancer Black Moon Lilith. Now, if you're not familiar with your Black Moon Lilith placement, it basically reveals your raw impulses, or you could say your primal desires that you yearn to fully express. But whichever sign it's under, it kind of has like a taboo attachment to it, like some shame in expressing it. So in this case, what I'm saying is that this character, she shows strong traits of Black Moon Lilith in Cancer because there's a lot of emotional, I would say, nurture that is suppressed within her. Now I'm gonna expose why. You see, Natalie Portman's character, Nina, her mother, this crazy lady right here, she completely dotes on this girl. I mean, this grown woman, and she Nina has such a sheltered life. I'm talking about in the film, in the very beginning when she wakes up from her dream, her mother basically opens her door as a way for like an alarm clock to get her up, makes her breakfast, her half grapefruit with I don't know what else, and then she helps puts on her clothes in the morning, and when well, not her clothes but her coat and stuff, and then as soon as she comes in and walks through the door when she comes back from her ballet practice, she helps take off her clothes. Like, this girl can never catch a break. And there's a scene also where we see her mother like painting and crying, which also I feel like her mother is Cancer and she's a very toxic Cancer, but she's like painting. And not only that, there's these portraits of Natalie. They're this ugly portraits too. If I was Natalie, I would have, well, Nina, I would have been like, can you stop painting me this way, please? Thank you. Just completely smothers this girl, and she even cuts her nails with scissors. Like, who does that? That was so disturbing to me. Maybe it's an old school way because it was a small scissor, but let me not fixate on that. But anyways, and even like before Natalie gets in through the door, she has to take like a deep inhale before she goes in, which just shows you everything about her. And the reason why I'm bringing this up to highlight all this is because this is the nurture that she had received all of her life. So this is all she knows about what it is to be emotionally nurturing. Her mother is very somber, melancholic. She's extremely overprotective and very clingy. So these are things that's like kind of repulsing her. So this would make someone with Black Moon, Lilith, and Cancer like to kind of shy away from that because they will be afraid that they would express their emotions and their compassion to others in the same way. There's even a quick scene in the beginning when she goes to the ballet company and the girls are talking about the principal ballerina, who's played by Winona Ryder, because everyone's like, oh, she was basically fired, she was let go, and they're like just talking mad shit about her, like, oh, because she was getting old. And she was the only one that was more compassionate towards Winona's character, because she said it, but she said it very much under her breath, like that. She said it very softly, like, that's sad. And you can tell, like, she genuinely felt sad for that woman. And then this girl had a nasty attitude, like, oh, what is? And she was like, oh, because, she's such an amazing dancer, like suppressing herself from fully explaining of why it's sad, because, clearly these girls are insensitive, and she subconsciously doesn't probably want to come off like her mother, like how her mom looks when she's emotional. Now, when we start seeing some cracks through this, wall of perfection that she puts up very well, it's with scenes from the very beginning with Toma. So when she is auditioning for the Swan Queen role, and she disbelieves that she failed that audition, telling her mom, like, I gotta tell him that I'm good for the role. Like, she was like, I gotta tell him that I finished it. Like he's gonna give a damn that you finished it at home. Like, okay. And then she puts on this stolen lipstick. It was actually a lipstick that she stole from the ballerina that was kicked out from her room, and it was a red lipstick, which is very again, it's associated with sensuality, like very primal, feminine, seduction. And this is very new for her because she comes across, you'll in the film, very innocent, and she knew what she was doing. I feel like subconsciously just putting on that lipstick to her was seduction. because I'm still like in betwixt. There's a guy who says like twerking on the fence. I'm twerking on the fence with this one. You guys can go in the comments, but like I feel like she was okay for overstepping that boundary. She just didn't know how to. That's my perception of it that I'm gonna go with, even though I'm still like, it's still kind of muddy because Toma is really nasty. It's the one that grabs her and kisses her first, but she went all in and then bit his lip. Now we can say that she bit his lip to get away, but as the movie goes on, when I was rewatching, I was like, no, I feel like she liked it. And in another scene, he's telling her that she's so frigid and that she's a coward when she dances, because when she dances, she's so afraid to let go and surrender to what she's feeling through the dance. And we can tell from actually the very beginning, from the dream she had, she's very in tune with Swan Lake. Okay, she connects with them, the characters in the ballet, very well, but she has a hard time expressing that, and it's a fear of expressing that and letting herself go with the emotions of it. So to loosen her up, he basically makes moves on her, starts filling her up, and they were kind of like started getting into like in a rapture of like, they're making out, he's feeling upon her, and he abruptly stops and he was like, if that was me seducing you, it's supposed to be the other way around. And he's leaving and I'm like, what an asshole. And she was like, Toma, Toma. I'm sorry, I was laughing during that scene. And then there's Lily, and Lily embodies everything how Nina wishes she can fully liberate herself to be as. She's basically like her Tyler Durden. She's sassy, she's flirtatious, she says what's on her mind, she tells it like it is, and she's always open to have a good time. This disturbs and exhilarates Nina. And when they finally go out together to hang out, this is when her egg completely cracked open. Even before they went clubbing, Lily slipped some Molly into Nina's drink. Mind you, Nina saw it and still decided to drink the drink. So that just shows you too how this was something that she was kind of craving to experience, even though someone did it kind of like sketchy. When they went clubbing, this was the most we've seen Nina so far has let herself go while dancing. And they're this dancing, she's all over her. It's becoming more a little bit sultry and intimate. And then she goes home, has a wet dream about Lily, even though she thought it actually happened. And this is when we really start seeing her spiral. In short, Nina is not the little girl anymore because she fully liberated herself from that. But now she's so lost in the freedom of all. She has no foundation of it whatsoever to sustain this or to express this in a healthier way, so to speak. So let me know what your thoughts down below.